Hi YouTube. I hope everybody's doing okay. I am been a little busy outside, which is nice. Every day I've been getting out there and like for instance, one day I moved a pile of rocks that I had. I mean, I'm talking big rocks. And then up tiered them up to make like a tower and put a solar light in them. I had them before more spread out. They weren't as high. So, oh, I'm a little out of breath. I just got through carrying some heavy boxes of stuff. But anyway, oh, excuse me. And it's pretty warm out too. So, yeah, I should probably open more of my windows. But anyway, so, and then, like yesterday, I picked asparagus and, oh, 4 days ago, I planted a bunch of seeds out around, and just stuff like that. I gotta probably tomorrow get out and brush my horse, brush her wintertime hair out of her fur, so give her a nice combing so she looks pretty and feels better. I should have done that probably about a week ago, but it was still kind of chilly, so I didn't want to take all her winter coat out of her because she's 22 this year, which is, sort of old for a horse. So I don't want her to get, if when it was raining and I didn't want her to get cold and, you know, so anyway, those are the types of things I've been doing. Um, oh, let's see what else. Um, oh, I transplanted my rhubarb the day before yesterday. Because every once in a while you have to do that anyway and separate them. Well, I didn't separate them, but what I did do is get them away from my asparagus so my asparagus can spread out and grow more. So, yeah. Um, let's see what. Oh, yeah. What was on my mind mostly today is them taking away our freedom of speech, so to speak. I mean, as far as um, second opinions for medical health and whatnot. I mean, they're making it so the average person can't even share their own opinions on the net. I mean, and even if you are a medical professional and like whatever happened to getting a second opinion on things? What's wrong with that? I mean, even if you're not a medical professional and you think you have an idea or you've heard of some kind of idea, I mean, that doesn't mean that the person that's hearing it has to take credence in that. It's like if I hear somebody say something about some medical opinion and I don't agree with it, well, then just don't agree with it and move along, carry on. So I don't know. I think it's kind of, well, not kind of, it is terrible. I mean, especially like, for instance, there was a microbiologist that was found dead in his apartment. And I don't recall his name right now, but I had shared his information on Facebook. And I mean, this man had extreme knowledge and a very high IQ. And he, um, excuse me, he, well, I mean, his knowledge base wasn't just in one area, but he spent like 6 years getting his doctorate and studying microbiology. So, taking, what was learned in the past and what he knows now or knew now because he's dead, but, and sharing it with the world. I mean, this is his opinion. We have a right to hear a second opinion on all these things. That's just just what I'm thinking about today, that they are making it so. But one thing they cannot take away, and that is my thoughts of physician heal yourself. And if you don't feel like that, it says in the Bible that you're a hypocrite. Well, because it's mind over matter. So if they want to try and censor this for me telling you that God tells us our bodies have the ability to heal themselves, well, then so be it. But I mean, okay, if you have like a broken bone and stuff, those are injuries that may never heal properly. And, it's like I have osteoarthritis. So when I break something, it's never really going to probably repair. And, the older you get, it doesn't really repair all that great either. But you can learn to manage your nerve endings. And that's something that they don't really want you to know either, that your nervous system, uh you can reroute it. You can um think it into another area of your body. If you're like injured here, the nerve can literally be moved over with thought. You can reconnect the electrodes in there, you know, and reroute your nervous system, and the old one will scar over, and it just kind of makes like a detour. And they don't want you to know all this stuff. So if they want to try and censor me for telling you what God says, well, that's on them, you know, because obviously they aren't too godly, or they wouldn't want people to die. They wouldn't take the chance with people's lives. So it's like the Black Plague went away. They didn't have a vaccine for it. It was passed around by rats because they killed all the cats, you know, like in England. And but that went away. Sure, people died. I guess survival of the fittest, you know? Or is that fetus? No. But, you know, there's things that are on my mind today. Oh, summer's coming up. It's great. Just great. I love warm weather so much. Have this really beautiful sarong that my sister bought me. It's like a Tahitian type design, like Polynesian, and it's really pretty. Um, Kind of a dark pink and a white. The flowers are sort of like like a magenta or magenta, however you want to say it, on white material, and it's like 9 feet long. So you can like wrap it around and make a skirt, and then just like put it over your shoulder and then tie it in the front. Or there's different ways, and wear like a t-shirt under it or whatever. Or you can just tie the whole thing around and tie it to the side, or wear it like a skirt. And she wears a lot of them, my sister Ebony. Hi, Abby. um she cuts like ones in half, and then hems them and wears them for like skirts in the summertime a lot. She looks so cute in them. So yeah, I'll be wearing mine this. It's just that it's so pretty, and the material's just really delicate, so it's not like I'm gonna go out and feed my horse. Well, I might. I've been known to wear some pretty weird things out and about, but you know, when you like spur of the moment, you know, but you never know, I guess. So, yeah. What does everybody think about those killer bees that are supposed to be wasps? Where are they? I heard they were like in Georgia or something, or um, my friend Tanisha, Facebook friend. longtime Facebook friend is in Missouri, and she's been passing a lot of that around. So I don't know if they're coming her way or what, and or if they stay in just from warm climates. So I'm like concerned about my relatives in Texas. So I've got some around Austin and others around San Antonio, and their relatives are in Houston, like Galveston Bay, around there. So makes me wonder, you know. But anyway, I guess we'll find out. I'm allergic to just plain old bees, so pretty bad. What I do if I get stung, which I have, once in a while I will. Like about 3 4 years ago, um, I gave my FE pen to a girl, a neighbor girl, but I used to keep one on hand. But what I did this one time, and I didn't, or EpiPen, I didn't. I ran in the house and I took one of my allergy pills right away and a couple of aspirins to make it go through my blood system and tried to calm my breathing so the poison didn't go through. And then I put some witch hazel on there and cleaned the wound, and I felt better after that. But and some calamine lotion I put on. But yeah, as long as you can not sit there and feel sorry for yourself, but get something on them wounds or a wound right away, I think it would help. So we had really, really bad wasp problems around here, and we had oh, I don't know what they are. I call them warrior wasps. They were a weird wasp that I had never seen before. These black ones, and they were really combative. Like you'd go to swat it. Of course, if somebody went to swat you, you'd probably try and fight back. But these things were freaking vicious. And a lot of them, the chicken that I had around here, she ate a bunch of them, and I think she eliminated them as far as around the house and whatnot. So we didn't have them as bad last year. And I still don't know what happened to her. She came and saw and she went. Was a stray. Walked in the yard and it was freezing snow on the ground. Weighed about a half a pound, and I fed her for about a year and a half, and then she was gone. So but we do live on a creek bottom, so there's a lake. The mouth of the creek goes right into the lake, so there's a lot of wild animals around here. Like Doug had a bunch of cats too before, and they didn't make it around here if they were outside because and I taught my cat about kitty monsters outside, and she was really a quick little girl, but um then I got her fixed and kept her in the house after that. I mean, she'd sneak out every once in a while, and it would really worry me. But then I had my dog. I could let my dog out, and she'd go save my cat from like a mean tomcat would be beating her up trying to have babies with her and whatnot. So I'm just kind of saying hello and letting you know what's going on. Not really a whole bunch, but is there anybody out there that thinks that wearing a cloth mask, that microorganisms are way tinier than any piece of cloth? It just isn't going to do you any good. And think it's carbon dioxide, you know, that builds up when you're not breathing fresh air. Um, it's going to make your breathing worse. And if you have breathing problems, I mean, like the elderly will wear masks in the wintertime. And Doug has bronchial asthma he was born with. And his doctor told him to wear a mask when it's cold out because, to protect the warmth. But if you think about it, these were the things that were on my mind. When you go into a doctor's office, they'll have you sit and relax for a while because when you first get in there, and going out in public will do this too, especially if people suffer from anxiety or if you're just busy or you worked hard that day or whatever. So envision this: you're covered with a mask, you're keeping your heat in. If it's cold out and you breathe, like put your hand over your face or a scarf, anytime you have any part of your head covered, you're going to be keeping more body heat in. So, but in a doctor's office, they'll have you come in and sit down and usually relax before they take your blood pressure, your BP reading, because when you're out and about and when you do get excited or you are busy or your blood pressure is a little higher, your temperature, your body temperature is going to be higher too. So these are my concerns for, and I've taken a lot of blood pressure readings and a lot of temperatures in my life, and I know medically what I'm talking about is true. And logically, and for myself, suffering with allergies and having other antibodies in my bloodstream that do, my temperature usually runs anywhere from not 98.6 but 100, 102, sometimes even 104 degrees is almost like normal for me. um I don't know why. But then there was times when I had sort of fluctuating blood pressure and my or my temperature was cold. But, so for them to say, "Oh, we got one set reading and we can just determine whether you're sick or not." No, they can't. What about these women? Like, if you're going through menopause, I went through menopause when I was 34 years old, early onset. And what about those women? They'll tell you, they'll be the first ones to tell you, like, if they're 50 years old and they're menopausal, your body temperature is freaking crazy. 1 second they'll be freezing to death, the next second they'll be roasting to death. If they just got through freezing, then their body's going to try and react and warm them up. Then they get too hot. I mean, I worry, I'm concerned about these people. Even I noticed in men that are about 50 years old, they go through a change of life and your body gets hotter. It's your and you grow more hair. Both male and female, your body's trying to compensate for heat loss. So I feel like people over 50 are being targeted with this in a big way. But I was going to ask you, do you wear face masks? And if you don't, or if you do, how do you feel about that? I personally will not wear a face mask. I won't. I have chronic sinusitis. I'm not going to cover up my air passages for anybody. And I'm not taking their damn shot either. Some people think that there's nothing in there that will hurt you. And I beg to differ. I almost died with the swine flu, and you can't tell me I didn't because I was there. And I don't trust any of their shots. I never will. I have a right not to. If I would have had a good lawyer back then, I could have sued them. And they know that. See, that's one of their things now where they've made it where you can't sue them, you know. But I have a unknown fluke in my blood, and they know this. So if they do anything to me because they gave it to me, and they know that too. They literally took chunks out of my head, out of my legs. I had stitches. They took plugs out of my flesh to have it studied at the CDC. Well, then some of you know this, some of you might be hearing it for the first time. And it came back as unknown fluke, and they didn't know how to treat it, and they didn't know what to do with me. I went in and I got my paperwork offline. I printed it out and copied it and saved it a couple different places. Went back in to look at it again just out of curiosity if they had written anything else on my charts, because I had been to the Mayo Clinic, a branch of it that's closer to my house, and another CDC up in Duluth. It's the office of the CDC, and they were doing testing on me and all this baloney. Well, so I had went back in on the CDC website to see what if they had added anything to my paperwork and whatnot, and it was completely gone. Isn't that ironic? Well, so anyway, I do have copies of it, and it's not like that's going to really do me any good or not, but I can literally prove that these people injured me and then just did not care, you know. So, and it's the truth, you know. They made me sick and then they didn't care. And I never was, I had hay fever, but I was never allergic to all this food I'm allergic to now. I mean, like every legume and pea and spinach and asparagus and brown rice and grains and every nut and all these things. Um, Petroleum I was allergic to, and pollen and whatnot. So, hay fever, but not food. Oh, orange juice. I couldn't have orange juice. But now I can't have pears. Still shouldn't have any citrus. Um, let's see. Just some really weird things. Raisins. I love raisins. I'm not supposed to have them. Chocolate, vanilla, you know. So, but like I say, I do eat things. Tomatoes. I'm not supposed to have mushrooms. Things that people typically eat and are supposed to be good for you. They're not. They'll kill me. Like whole grains. You know. You ever heard of somebody that stays healthier eating white flour? Me neither. So it's weird. Very weird. I don't know. But they did it to me. you know? Jerks. And they know it. And my doctors knew it too. You know? Boy, they treated me shabby. If you seen the stuff they did to me, you would be like, whoa. You know? Really? Yeah, really. Unbelievable. I quit going to this one doctor. I had this shorts outfit on, was sort of purple with embroidery around it and embroidery around the legs. Just kind of modest. It was cute. I wear with tennis shoes and socks and whatever, and nothing revealing. And I was in the doctor's office and they were looking at this rash that I had from this fluke. And this one doctor called another doctor in, and this old doctor grabbed my shorts before I could stop him, in front of my son was like 9 or 10 years old, pulled the waistband and looked out. I mean, my kid's never seen my butt in his life. And here I got this old piece of dung pulling my shorts in front of my kid like that. I was just, it's the last time I went there, you know. That's the way doctors and people have treated me all my life, you know. And I apologized to my son, and he goes, I'm sorry too, Mom. And I go, I'm just not going to go back there again, you know. So that was really terrible, you know. And I've always been modest like that, always, you know. And I never really met other women that were. I mean, even like in gym class, you know, they all are just like whipping off their clothes and hopping in the showers in front of each other. And I'd wait. It's like, do your own thing, and, you know, I'll do it when you're done, you know? It's like, whatever. I'm not like that, you know? It's like my adopted mom, and I'd be trying on clothes, and she'd be like, well, I'm your mother. And I felt like saying, yeah, so what? You know? Anyway, but yeah, I've always been modest like that. Just the way I am. So, but I did pass around something that was rather funny on Facebook today. There was this song, I don't know what the song is or where it came from or why it made these women act the way it did. It was something off of TikTok that a friend had shared. And here were these girls with either their boyfriends or their husbands or whatever. They would put this song on, and the boyfriend thought they were going to get like some exotic lap dance or something. And these women started dancing like all freaking like satanic, weird. And some of them, like the one guy took a blanket and he put it over his face and he's sitting there like freaking laughing. And another guy literally started laughing out loud. Another guy, his lady started dancing and he literally climbed to the other end of the bed, like just to get. And a couple guys got up and literally got up and left the room. You know, it was that bad. And I don't know what it was about this song or what they were doing, or I still don't know. I really don't. It's on my Facebook page. I put like I don't know if it's the song or the women or what I LOL ha ha ha, and it's like, but actually it's pretty sad if you think about it. But you might want to go and look at it. You'll know which one because I got LOLs and ha ha ha's on there. Because the reaction from some of the guys is what was so funny. Like there was this one black guy and he just started laughing out loud, and just his laughter made me laugh. And the guy that covered his head up with the blanket so he didn't have to look, that I found quite funny. You know, it's like, yeah, I've been there. I can relate. You know, when some people dance, it's I don't know. And even people trying to dance too sexual, it's like, get out of here with that crap, you know? If you can't express your body without like that, like you really can't think of nothing else but that. Like these women that gotta jiggle their stuff when they're talking. It's like, can't you hold still? Is there something wrong with you? You know? It's like, you know, these people, you know, and guys are like that too. It's like, why do I want to see what you're doing in the bedroom when you're dancing? It's like, no, it's not like that. Could you just see people doing the polka or clog dancing, trying to put sexuality in there, you know, something like that. If you picture it, or like the ballet, and then all of a sudden they start grinding their stuff, you know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I'm going to let you go, Bob. Doug's cat was clawing. Don't claw on stuff, Bobby. So, um, thank you for joining me. Just saying hello. Um, I hope you're doing well. Don't buy into that our bodies can't heal themselves, but they can. They really can. I've been through so much. If you knew, you'd be saying, this woman shouldn't be walking and talking, and I really shouldn't be. So, um, if there wasn't a God and our bodies could not heal, please consider my words. It's true. It's true. You know, the human body does have diseases, but not like they're saying. So, okay, everybody. Peace, love. I love you very much. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day or night wherever you're at.